down the hallway and to the right. Distinguished guests, veterans, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. The Central Virginia VA Healthcare System welcomes you to the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Fredericksburg VA Health Care Center. I am Sandy Margaret, Fredericksburg HCC Director, and I will be leading you in today's events. Ladies and gentlemen, please rise and remain standing for the posting of the colors, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance, and then our national anthem. Colors post. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Will you please welcome Ms. Tamara Bullard, who will sing our national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the gallantly streaming. In air gave proof that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Thank you. You may be seated. Chaplain Julie Marshall will lead us in the invocation.
Good afternoon. Please pray with me. Almighty God, as we gather today to mark the opening of this new VA Healthcare Center, we humbly ask for your blessing upon this space and for the veterans who will enter its doors seeking healing and care. Guide the hands of the healthcare providers with wisdom and compassion, and may their dedication bring comfort and restoration to our veterans. Grant us the strength to uphold the mission of the Department of Veterans Affairs to serve veterans and their families with dignity and compassion, and always remembering that a true healing comes from you. We pray for the well-being of our veterans, staff, and community, and ask that this facility be a beacon of hope and a sanctuary of healing. In your holy name we pray.
Today's event is going to be a short but impactful event. As we celebrate the opening of this new building, we want to first start out with some opening remarks from Mr. Jonathan Benoit, Interim Vision 6 Network Director.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. It is my great honor to welcome you all to this milestone moment as we officially open the Fredericksburg Health Care Center, the largest healthcare center in the nation, a facility dedicated to serving the veterans of Fredericksburg and surrounding communities. Today is more than just the completion of a project. It marks the beginning of expanded care, enhanced services, and greater access for the men and women who have served our nation. This facility represents a promise fulfilled, a commitment to meeting veterans where they are and ensuring they receive the highest quality care that they have earned. I want to take a moment to recognize and express our deepest gratitude for our esteemed guests, including senators, congressional representatives, local and state officials, academic affiliates, veteran service organizations, community partners, and our dedicated VA staff members. We'd like to recognize the owner and developer, Carnegie Management and Development Corps, and their team of Harvey Clary Builders and Little Architecture for building such a beautiful facility. Your vision and dedication was critical to the success of this remarkable project. Thank you for your partnership and your collaborative approach to project execution. A special acknowledgement to our Veterans Canteen Service, the 29th Infantry Band, and the U.S. Marine Corps Color Guard. Thank you for adding to today's celebration with your presence. And most importantly, I want to thank our veterans. Your service, your sacrifice, and your steadfast commitment to this country are the reason why we're here today. This facility exists because of you and for you. Thank you for your unwavering support and for ensuring that this vision became a reality. This center stands as a testament to our promise to bring care closer to home and continually improve the veteran experience. To our veterans, this is for you. Your service and sacrifice have shaped our nation, and we remain deeply committed to honoring that service through the care we provide. Our mission has always been and will always be put veterans first. This facility is a direct reflection of that mission. None of this would be possible without the dedication of our VA employees, healthcare professionals, and community partners who work tirelessly to make differences in the lives of those we serve. Your passion and commitment ensure that every veteran is met with the quality of care, respect, and support they deserve. Thank you for being here today, for your continued support, and for celebrating this exciting milestone with us. Now let's officially open the Fredericksburg Health Care Center.
Thank you, Mr. Benoit. Our next speaker is our Central Virginia VA Healthcare Systems Director, Mr. J. Ronald Johnson, who will recognize some of our employees for their exceptional work in getting this facility ready for its opening. Mr. Johnson.
Good afternoon, Fredericksburg. It's great to be here. Yeah. This has been a lot of years in the making. So I want to say that I am Army veteran, and my family has served. Thank you. My grandfathers, my dad, my brothers, we've all served, and it's been my great honor to spend my federal career in the VA. The VA has such an incredible mission, And our employees are so dedicated to supporting our veterans and their health care needs. And again, it's my honor to be here to serve you. I'm going to give you, thank you. Yes, absolutely. I'm going to talk a little bit about this building, and I'm going to thank some of our staff. This is now the largest healthcare center in VA's inventory at over 471 square feet. It is larger than 10 VA medical centers in VA's inventory. So if you don't know what a medical center is, that's a hospital in our terminology. And so when people drive by here, they think this is a hospital, and it's not. It is literally an outpatient clinic. And we'll be open Monday through Friday. We might have some Saturday clinics in the future, but Monday through Friday, generally 7 to 4:30 are typical hours. And we're going to run a lot of care through here. Currently, we serve roughly 23,000 veterans in this market, and we hope to grow up to about 33 to 35,000 veterans over the next 5 years. I have had the honor of opening another HCC with Dr. Tracy Graham back in 2008 down in Pensacola, Florida, and that was about 225,000 square feet. And Tracy and I thought that was going to be the biggest HCC ever, right? And it was big. It felt big. But this facility could swallow that facility. This is going to be huge. It's going to be great for the veterans in our market, and we're going to provide a lot of services here. We're going to have primary care, mental health. We'll be adding services such as radiology. We have lab services. We've had those before a little bit, but now it's going to be expanded. We're going to have physical therapy, and on and on and on. So medical subspecialties, surgical subspecialties. If it can be done in an outpatient setting, we're going to do it here. I know some of you come down to Richmond for care, and you tell me all the time how bad the parking is, all right? So I hear you loud and clear. So if you don't like the parking in Richmond, guess what? We have 2,600 parking spots in Fredericksburg, yeah. So some of our staff might have to park here and then take a bus down. I don't know. We'll see. I want to thank those who support us. Dr. Marlon Levy is here from VCU. Where are you? There you are. And so if you're not aware, Virginia Commonwealth University is our primary academic affiliate. We've been partners with them for decades, and we want to continue that partnership. So Dr. Levy and I have been talking, and we're hoping that we'll have a presence here with VCU in the very near future. And so Marlon, thank you for your partnership and for being here today. All right, I'm going to recognize some folks who have worked really, really hard. And it's not going to be a comprehensive list, but I would be remiss if I didn't thank some folks who have burned the midnight oil to not only have this event today, but to get the clinic up and operating. So our leadership team, Sandy Markert, Cynthia Johnson, Tracy Graham, Dr. Coe, and their support staff, Diane Fogelbach, Annette Timberlake, Sherry Ann Gray, Tina Reinhold, Calvin Green, Kenny Adams, Candace Smith, Zoe Moyer, Mikey Conlon, Amanda Phillips, Karen Susi, and Karen, by the way, is the interior designer who is responsible for the interior design of this building. So if you like what you see, please seek out Karen and tell her thank you very much. That's not easy work. That's one of those positions that gets overlooked. You wouldn't think that a healthcare system would need an interior designer, but when we're at full capacity, we actually have 3, and they stay busy all the time. So Karen, thank you for putting this beautiful building together. Jacqueline Hebron, Kelly Rollins, Rayanne Pena, Jennifer Fox, and Dr. Nikki Spain-Allen. I, again, want to thank that staff specifically, and there have been literally dozens and dozens of others, not only staff that we've hired to work here out of Fredericksburg, but also staff who support this clinic out of Richmond. So we are the Central Virginia VA healthcare system, And now we have the largest ACC in the country. Go Fredericksburg. All right.
Now we will hear from Dr. Michael Brennan. Dr. Brennan is the Executive Director for the Office of Construction and Facilities Management, or CFM, at the Department of Veterans Affairs. CFM plans, designs, constructs, and leases facilities for the Veterans Health Administration, our nation's largest integrated healthcare system, the Veterans Benefit Administration, and the National Cemetery Administration. Please welcome Dr. Michael Brennan.
Whoa, a little shock there. Hoorah! And I'll translate it if I see a center of gravity of Marines here. Hoorah! Hoorah! That's the way to go. Good afternoon to all our honorable congressional, state, community delegates and leaders, and the veterans and community members that are here to celebrate with us today, to mark this milestone. I'm honored to share in this celebration with you in my official capacity, but I too am an Army veteran. My daughter is a brand new Army lieutenant at flight school at Fort Novosel right now. I have a son that's at West Point. My wife's an Army retired, and my father was a draftee in the Vietnam era, also career Army. What we're doing here today is a legacy for all our brothers and sisters in arms. It may be my children, your children, our grandchildren, the generations ahead of us that are going to benefit from these services. So from a personal note, before I get into my professional role, you know, this is what the Veterans Affairs Department is all about. It's a great day for the Department of Veterans Affairs and our lesser Carnegie Management Development Corps. Dr. Corey, your development team, Harvey Cleary Builders, Little Diversified Architectural Consulting, and most importantly, the bedrock of our nation, the talented and skilled trades and laborers that built this facility. These things don't magically come out of the ground. It's a great day for the many teams across the Department of Veterans Affairs and Veterans Health Administration that have contributed and are responsible to the planning, programming, concept development. All of this is necessary to go from a good idea somewhere to actually coming out of the ground in the facility that we're in today. We also require the support of the community, our delegates to resource all this. A lot of things have to come together to make this happen. It's hugely complex, and all of you that walked in this building today, we're looking at a grand slam here. John, I'm honored to lead a team that supports VHA and Vision 6. Ron, I'm here to celebrate. It's not about the bricks and mortar. It's just a box. Your team is going to come in here and they're going to breathe life into this, and it will become a care facility where hands will heal veterans, provide care benefits and services. This is really what we're celebrating today. I do want to take a moment to recognize a few folks from my real property team that have worked behind the scenes, many of them unseen, but we have a few of them here today and others who are thinking about today celebrating from afar. John Thomas, Jason Lambie, Lindsay Killian, Amanda Phillips, Shar Adams, Terry Witch, and Garland Gill. Thank you for being here. Thank you for all the work that you do to support veterans. And I especially wish to thank a couple names in particular that were mentioned just a few moments ago, Sandy Market and Cynthia Johnson from the Central Virginia VA Healthcare System. Getting the people ready for the building and the building ready for the people is no small task, because you have one chance to get it right and make sure you have quality and safety to take care of our veterans. Thank you. Most importantly, this is a great day for many of you in the crowd, my brothers and sisters in arms, the veteran community that will benefit from the capability, capacity, and services this health care center will provide. May this new facility contribute to the health and healing of veterans for years to come. Thank you all for enriching the celebration with your presence here this afternoon. This is indeed a great day for veterans. I'm proud to represent Secretary Doug Collins. The ribbon-cutting celebration today reaffirms the Department of Veterans Affairs' commitment to place the right facilities in the right place at the right time to best serve veterans. Delivering these new facilities underscores the VA's commitment to serving veterans. This is a tangible continuity of the spirit of commitment Abraham Lincoln spoke of in his second inaugural address, to care for those who borne the battle, our nation's veterans, their families, their caregivers, and their survivors. The veteran is at the center of all we do. Thank you to all who have advocated for this project. Thank you to the community and elected leadership that authorized and appropriated resources to place this facility here. And thank you to the multitudes of dedicated public servants for your countless hours behind the scenes, all the necessary efforts to get to a ribbon cutting today. These ceremonies also don't happen by accident. Thank you to the team that put this together. And to the veterans that will receive their care here, and the future veterans that will receive their care here, thank you for choosing VA. We are honored and proud to serve you. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. I want to take the podium from Sandy, and simply because, in my excitement to congratulate everyone, I forgot to thank our wonderful senators here, and so I'm going to get up and introduce them. But this became a brainchild of ours back in 2013, believe it or not. And so Jim Dudley, my associate director, Jim's right here. We pulled out the Gantt chart this morning and saw where the planning started on this. And our end date, our ribbon cutting date, back in 13 when we were thinking about this, was April of 24. So we're about 11 months off. But that's what happens when you plan. When you're in 2013, you don't know what's going to happen in 2024 and 2025. But the point is, we got it done. But one major reason we got it done, two major reasons, are right here, okay? Senator Warner and Senator Kaine were our advocates on the Hill, and they were able to come together and get funding for this building. So really do appreciate that. We could not have done this without our congressional partners. In fact, we have a very good relationship with all of our congressional partners in our market. The senators and the representatives are very good about coming out and having discussions with me personally so that they can hear what is happening at the ground level. And I'm there representing you. So when you're giving me feedback, I'm giving them feedback. And then they're taking that feedback and acting on it. So it's my great honor to welcome Senator Mark Warner here, Senator Tim Kaine, and we have a new congressman, Congressman Vinnman, newly elected. So you elected him. So he's going to do great things for you. And I'm excited to hear from him. I just met him today, excited for the opportunity to work with him. So I'm going to turn it over to these three gentlemen. I'm not going to interrupt them. I'm not going to come up in between. But we're going to start with Senator Warner. All right.
Well, thank you, Ron. I got it. Team, and particularly Sandy. It's been a long, long journey. And it is great to be here today to celebrate. And I got to say, Tim and I both have federal jobs now, but once a governor, always a governor. I want to acknowledge our Lieutenant Governor, Winston Sears, if you've seen him, Lieutenant Governor. And I also want to acknowledge our members of the General Assembly. I saw a couple at least. Josh, come on. Members of the General Assembly. Let me assure you, down in Richmond, sometimes people disagree, because they never disagree in Washington, of course. But Virginia does more for veterans in veteran services than virtually any state in the nation, and that doesn't matter. And I think we should all be proud of that. Doesn't matter, Democrat group of folks, and they deserve to have the right to complain, but the VSOs are on you all the time, and I am grateful for that relentlessness. And Ron, you hear from them, I hear from them, our other colleagues do as well. I know Tim does as well, and this is quite a journey. And obviously, I see some of the employees who are up here peering through the glass. Let's celebrate them. And Ron, you said the first time you all thought about it was 2013, and this was part of the plan. I got to tell you, the first time I got involved with this was 2016, 9 years ago, when we thought we had to pass legislation because, hospitals were overburdened. We've got 3 tiers of care in the VA. But these centers, we needed more. And I remember with Susan Collins and I, a Republican senator from Maine, we worked hard to try to get legislation to expand. And we thought, all right, we passed it. We even had the money. But then, and I know, this even drove me as a business guy just crazy. About 2017, 2018, what's called the CBO, the scorekeepers, the budget scorekeepers in Washington, changed the whole process of how we would account for this. Whether it would be you have to pay on a lease basis, on an annual basis, or you have to get all the money up front. They changed it midstream, and remember those battles. And it took us years, candidly, to work through something that is one of the reasons why so many people think the federal bureaucracy, and I agree in many cases, is kind of crazy. We then finally got through all that, and COVID hit. And then we went through that set of challenges. I can remember, Sandy, when we got together with a lot of the VSO organizations, almost about 9 months ago, 10 months ago, at the Raceway here in the community. And I live part-time in King George, so I'm very familiar with the growth in the community, and we're going to be a top 5 in terms of veteran population to the Richmond area, which includes Fredericksburg. And to see this finally come about, and to be here at this ribbon cutting, and my understanding, services are going to start on Monday, so that schlep to Richmond, let me make one statement. When I was governor, there was a lot less traffic. Maybe not, but Tim and I were with the governor this morning opening up a Virginia Tech Innovation Campus, and so I can say that here. But so this is enormously well-deserved. Any person, veteran, their family members, who've been in harm's way or not in harm's way, defending our nation. We made a solemn promise that we'd take care of your health care. And at times, I know the frustrations sometimes veterans have had of getting into the system. I think once they're in the system, people feel they get a good quality of care. But that entry point of getting in, and we've gone through this in Richmond and Hampton and Salem, we've still got a ways to go. But this world-class facility, largest in the nation, is not only, I believe at the end of the day, going to make it less of a schlep to Richmond, but also offer incredibly world-class care. But I also just have to acknowledge, I'm trying to work hard with the new administration. And the new administration of Washington has said they want to, stand by our veterans. But I just have to say, particularly to the workforce, we're only about a third full of workers we're going to need at this clinic. Employees be fired already, not based upon any performance, but based upon these Doge boys who don't know anything about your service or about the kind of services that are provided by the VA. I worry about that. I worry about the fact that if everyone who's on a probationary period in those first 2 years could be automatically fired, how we're going to provide that world-class service. When we are close to 500 employees short in this facility, who's going to want to provide those services if they are in jeopardy of losing their jobs at a moment's notice based upon politics, but not based upon delivery of services? So I know I'm speaking for Tim and Eugene on this, but we will be there. Our commitment to veterans, our commitments to world-class care, our commitment to world-class facilities, which we have here in Fredericksburg, we stand by that. We will honor that. We will push back against any forces from any political agenda that tries to interfere in that. And that is who we should be going forward. And and let me just say, if we ever waver on that, there's a whole lot of ambassadors here and a whole lot of VSO organization members here around this room, VFW, American Legion, others, who will be on our case. There are no, the most wonderful thing about veterans, they have earned the right to tell us what they think, and I'm committed to making sure that commitment is kept. So, I'm going to do a quick introduction. Ron, the next guy. We've done this a few times because we were just at this Virginia Tech Innovation Center and talking about innovation. And I had to acknowledge, we met each other 45 years ago in law school. And I felt a little bad because this was terrible, this innovation, higher ed. And we had to acknowledge that I met Tim not in class, nor at the library, but at a party. He often says that he is the AM senator, I am the PM senator for Virginia. But that 45-year friendship and the journey of both how we came to Virginia, neither one of us were blessed to be born here. But we in each of our own ways have lived that American dream, and our ability to kind of provide that service and have each other's backs. There's no better partner. I have no better friend in politics than my junior senator, Tim Kaine.
Hey, thank you and good afternoon to everyone. And it is a good afternoon. It is a good afternoon. I want to thank Mark for his kindness, 45 years of friendship. I think of the 50 pairs of senators, we are the closest friends. We've known each other the longest, and that means we never have to sit together at any meeting because I can look across the room, look him in the face, and know exactly what he's thinking, and he knows what I'm thinking. But we care very, very deeply about this day. Some of you know that I live in Richmond, and the mileage that I have picked up between Richmond and D.C. in 40 years in Virginia, especially since I've been in the United States Senate, I have circled the earth 35 times on Interstate 95. And it's been really cool, actually. Once it took me 27 hours to drive from Richmond to D.C. So if I offer you a ride, say no. You can say thanks, but don't accept it. But it's been fun to go back and forth every week. I drive up on Monday, I drive back Thursday or Friday, and see this facility come from the idea stage to here. Here we are. One group of people that I want to stand up, because I was a local elected official, is we've got Spotsylvania Board of Supervisors and Spotsylvania staff in Fredericksburg. If you're a local government official, please stand up so folks can give you all a round of applause. Again, these things don't happen by magic, and even when there's something that everybody wants, the planning, the designing, it's a big chore, and the local officials deserve respect for this as well. But it is an exciting day. So I'm just going to say one thing. Two things. Virginia is more veteran than anybody. Somebody once told me, I'm not a veteran, my dad is and my oldest son is. I'm not, but somebody said to me once, I think it was when I was a mayor, that 1 out of every 9 Virginians is a veteran. And I thought, wow, 1 out of every 9 adult Virginians. They said, I didn't say 1 out of every 9 adult Virginians. I said 1 out of every 9 Virginians is a veteran. We are per capita right at the top. And if you add in, frankly, active duty, Guard, Reserve, DOD civilian, DOD contractor, military families, we are at the top in terms of our connection to the nation's military mission. You can see it on our map. Appomattox, Yorktown, Fredericksburg, the Pentagon. You can see it in the number of installations we have right close here, Dahlgren and Quantico and so many others, and you can see it in our population. And that is something that we're so proud of. And as Mark said, I saw members of both parties here in the legislature. When I was governor, I had 2 Republican houses for 2 years and 1 each, my other 2. There were two things that were always bipartisan. Support for veterans, support for the Chesapeake Bay, always bipartisan. And that expresses a pride that we all feel. On that subject, I'm going to tell you something strange about myself. I'm a big Bible reader. But the thing that's strange, because many of us are about it, is I often read verses and think, could I have written it better? I don't know why I got into that. Could I have written it better? And, it's usually was in Hebrew or Greek or Aramaic and then, translated through English. And I'm reading the English version. But I ask, could I have written it better? And I almost never come across a verse where I say, I could have written it better. But there is one. And it's one we all know. Greater love hath no man than this, that you would lay down your life for a friend. I could write that one better. Our veterans, our first responders. It's one thing to lay down a life for a friend. It's another thing to be willing to lay down a life for someone you don't even know, or for an oath to a constitution that you take that's not about a friend, but about a concept or idea. And that's what we celebrate when we celebrate veterans, that greater love, that greater love. And that's why, I'll just say this with Mark, I wrote a letter with one of my Senate colleagues, Senator Blumenthal, yesterday, the number signed on, asking the administration to return to work all the veterans that have been fired in the last 6 weeks. And we did a separate letter asking him to pause all layoffs of VA employees. Somebody said to me as I was walking up, a staffer, fight for us. They didn't have to tell me what they meant. I knew what they meant. This is no time to be laying off veterans. This is no time to be laying off folks at VA hospitals. This is a time to be celebrating the amazing veterans, VA employees, and wonderful institutions like this. Thank you so much. And now I'm going to introduce the brand new congressman. He may be new to Congress and new to this particular project, but he's not new to serving, a talented, dedicated Army veteran, Congressman Eugene Vinnman.
Thank you so much for the warm welcome. And, following our two best senators in Congress, combined of political experience, I've got 7 weeks, so I've got a lot to learn. 7 weeks of political experience, but 25 years in the Army. And so I'd like to start by, first of all, thank you for the warm welcome. And as I call out your branch, make some noise. Any Marines in the house? All right, we got some Marines. What about Army? HUA. Air Force? Navy? Coast Guard? Space Force? Oh, maybe one day. Got time. Look, for those of you that I've not met, my name is Eugene Vinnman, and I am proud to represent Virginia's 7th Congressional District. We have a district that probably represents more vets than just about any other in the country. Quantico is in the district. We have Dahlgren Naval Base. We have Fort Walker. And so we have tens of thousands of veterans and tens of thousands of civil servants that, by statistics, 1/3 are veterans. So it's an honor to be here today as we open the doors to VA Health Center, the largest VA Health Center in the nation, with 72,000 veterans in the 7th District. We need your tremendous services, and I'm sure you will have demand for generations to come. Thank you. Of course, none of this would be possible without the tireless efforts of so many people, and I want to take a moment to especially thank Senator Mark Warner and Senator Tim Kaine, and so many of the local leaders here on site for their commitment. With 7 weeks on the job, I can't take any responsibility for getting this institution running, but I do promise to support this institution for as long as I'm in office and for years to come. Your work, thank you. Your work has turned this vision into a reality, and our veterans will benefit from your dedication for a long time. This facility is a testament to our ongoing commitment to expanding access for veterans care across Virginia, particularly in this region which is one of the fastest growing veteran communities in the country. The care that this center will provide is not just the building, but it's a fulfillment, a solemn vow that this country has taken to the men and women who have served, that we really care. We care for your service, your dignity, and support you with what you deserve. We saw firsthand just how much this facility means to the community when over 1,000 prospective employees attended a career fair last month, eager to serve our veterans. While our community faces challenges, one thing is clear: there's no shortage of people who are willing to step up and are ready to serve our veterans. We will do everything possible to ensure that this care center reaches its full potential. And as we've heard from Senator Warner, there are so many positions still left unfilled. For me, this mission is personal. I served in the U.S. Army for 25 years as an infantry officer, paratrooper, deployed to Iraq, and as a judge advocate. But my 3 brothers also served, and so did my wife. So we are a family of military service members. I know firsthand the sacrifices that our service members make, and I've seen the importance of providing you all with the care and the resources that you deserve when you return home. That is what this care center represents. And this care center must be online as soon as possible. We need the administration to lift the hiring freeze at the Department of Veterans Affairs. Thousands of vets are expecting to receive care right here in Fredericksburg. Hundreds of talented folks are waiting to be hired, and services should already be online. The 3 things that are not happening, these are 3 things that are not happening during this hiring freeze, and it's unacceptable. And it's short-sighted. Vets like my constituent Ray, who is here today. Ray, where are you? Or maybe not. Rely on the services from this facility. Ray is a retired Army vet like myself. He served as a human resources officer at the Department of Veterans Affairs, and so he knows how important it is to hire top talent to serve our millions of veterans across the country. Ray now lives here in Fredericksburg and was supposed to receive his annual lung screening test on March 3rd at this new facility. Well, guess what? He has to reschedule his appointment and go back down to Richmond in April to get his care. That's unacceptable. We're here to celebrate a state-of-the-art facility, and we should have the folks hired to run it and run it well. This facility is not just about providing comprehensive care, it's about ensuring that every veteran who walks through these doors knows that they are valued and respected and supported at every stage of their health journey. Whether they need primary care, mental health services, or rehabilitation, we want them to receive world-class care from a dedicated team dedicated to their well-being. To our veterans, this care center is here for you, because of your service, your sacrifice, and your unwavering commitment to our nation. Today, we take one more step in fulfilling our responsibility to you, and we have so much more to do. Thank you to everyone who played a role in making this care center a reality, from healthcare professionals to public servants and community advocates. Your hard work ensures that those who have given so much to this country receive the care they earned. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. We appreciate all of you coming out to support our veterans and our new facility. Would everyone who has been designated please come up to the stage for the cutting of the ceremonial ribbon.
So where did you guys do it?
On the count of 3. With this ribbon cutting, we now declare the Central Virginia VA Healthcare System's new Fredericksburg VA Healthcare Center officially open and ready for our veterans. Thank you for joining us today. This building represents hope, meaning, and a new future for our veterans. This concludes today's ceremony. We have light refreshments, and if you are interested in touring the building, representatives are available for short tours. We want to give a special thanks to all those that made this day possible. Thank you for coming out today, and have a great VA Day.
Check, check, 1, 2, check, check, 1, 2, check.